A little update on the concrete project. Phew, I think that's 6 bags of concrete that I mixed up. I start screeding it here, I guess. Got my wood float. Plan on floating this, maybe hitting it with the trowel, hitting it with the edger, letting it sit, and then I'm gonna throw down those crushed stones on top, float those stones in, and then hit it with some soda water so that way I could get an exposed aggregate type of finish. We'll see how it comes out. All right, little update. Pretty sure that was 6 bags of concrete. Might have only been 5 actually. Yeah, I had 3. I went 4 more. I only used 2 of those, so that's 5 bags of concrete. Used up most of the leftover Portland that I had from a long while back, mainly put on the bottom, and mixed some in with the mix as well. Actually, it looks pretty creamy, so not bad. I'm gonna wait for this to stiffen up just a hair. I'm gonna float it, and then I'm gonna put the rocks on top, scatter the rocks on top, float them in, and see how that works out. So nice day. It's like 40 something degrees, maybe 46 degrees, and it's gonna be nice for a couple days. So I thought this was a good time, as good a time to do it as any. So not easy work, not easy at all. So see how it turns out. Be back. All right, so continuation of this exposed aggregate. Just taking rocks, throwing them on top, and I'm gonna float them in. So it goes heavy or as light as you want. Obviously this existing looks like it's pretty heavy on the exposed, so we're gonna try to mimic this as much as possible. Stay tuned. All right, so we floated in the rocks. All I'm doing here is I'm taking my float and I'm tamping it down, right? Tamping them down. I got still a nice soupy mix here. Okay, that's all we're doing. Once that firms up a little bit, I'm gonna hit it with the steel, and I'm gonna put that soda in a spray bottle. Hit the top of this here before it, maybe in another hour or 2. Once it starts to cure up a little bit, once it firms up, I'm gonna hit it with that soda, so that way it's kind of like I guess a release agent or something. And then we could power wash it, or just wash it, scrub it, and the aggregate should be exposed. So I never done this. I'm not a mason, but I'm sure willing to give the old college try. We'll see how it works out. Okay, floated and picture framed. I'm gonna get rid of that picture frame here. One side, hit it with the steel trowel. Once it gets a little bit firmer, it's way too loose yet. So I'll hit it with the steel trowel. Then we'll throw that soda water on there. So come back to you. There's a long series. I'm making one concrete pad, one concrete sidewalk square, whatever the frick it's called. Anyway, be back. All right, little wrap up video on our exposed aggregate concrete pour. It's wet out today, but here's what we got. Here's the old, and that's the new. I guess this still has to cure. It'll probably lighten up in color, but pretty happy with the result on the exposed aggregate. We poured the concrete, went a little wet, and then I threw some crushed stone on top, floated it, hit it with a steel trowel, and then after I hit it with the steel trowel, I sprayed it with in that spray bottle there, I put in Coca-Cola, and you spray the Coca-Cola on top of the troweled finish. I guess that stops it from curing all the way. And from there, the next day I came in with my power washer and power washed the surface cream off of the concrete, and that's that. You got a nice exposed aggregate finish. I think she looks good. I screwed up though on this pour because when I cut this old section and that old section, I didn't cut them square, so it's a little cattywampus. It's not perfectly straight. I guess I could straighten it out. And then this actual section here, when we did the work, it got out of square as well, so it kind of threw off this line a little bit, but whatever, it's done, it's repaired. We'll move on to the next one. This is the last video for 2022, so Happy New Year, guys. We'll see you next year.